If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats because what we're hearing out of the NFL rumor mill today is nothing short of jaw-dropping. There's a buzz circling both Cleveland and Carolina that could shake up the entire league landscape. Sources close to the situation are whispering that the Cleveland Browns are on the verge of, or may have already completed a blockbuster trade involving none other than their franchise running back, Nick Chubb. That's right, the same Nick Chubb who's been the heart and soul of the Browns offense for years now, according to insiders. The deal sends Chubb to the Carolina Panthers in what's being described as a stunning move by league executives. While there's no official confirmation yet, the level of chatter suggests that where there's smoke, there's fire. And let's be honest, nobody expected this. So what's behind this rumored trade? Let's unpack everything right here. First off, let's talk about Nick Chubb's status in Cleveland. Coming off a serious knee injury in 2023, there were already quiet murmurs within league circles questioning whether the Browns would double down on the Pro Bowl back or look to shift directions. After all, we know how brutal the NFL can be when it comes to running backs. 1 year you're the centerpiece of the offense, the next year you're a cap casualty. But Chubb, he's different. He's built his name on consistency, humility, and pure, punishing ground and pound football. So why would Cleveland even consider parting ways with him? Sources suggest that the Browns, looking to reshape their offense around Deshaun Watson and preserve long-term cap flexibility, might view moving Chubb now before he hits free agency in 2025 as the smartest financial play. But man, from a fan's perspective, this feels like tearing the heart out of the team. And on the Panthers side, it makes even more sense if you think about their situation. Carolina's been desperate for a reliable backfield weapon ever since they shipped off Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers. Yes, they've had Miles Sanders, and they've tried a committee approach, but nothing has really clicked. Rookie QB Bryce Young, who struggled in his first year, needs help, and not just in the form of pass protection or wide receiver upgrades. He needs someone behind him who can take the pressure off, who can grind out tough yards, eat the clock, and open up the play-action game. Nick Chubb, if healthy, is exactly that kind of back. And if Carolina can land him now, they not only give Young a major support system, but they also inject immediate credibility and veteran leadership into that locker room. That's the kind of move that changes a franchise's direction fast. Now, what exactly could the Browns be getting in return? That's where the details get murky but also incredibly intriguing. Some reports suggest the Panthers may be offering a package centered around multiple draft picks, potentially a second and fourth in 2025, along with a young player, possibly someone like wide receiver Jonathan Mingo or even cornerback J.C. Horn. That last name is a stretch, but when you're talking about Nick Chubb, you're not getting him for peanuts. There's also buzz that this deal could be part of a larger, multi-team framework, where Carolina flips one of their assets to a third team and sweetens the pot for Cleveland. Whatever the case, this isn't just a depth trade, this is a foundational move. Both teams would be changing the DNA of their roster, and if the whispers are true, we could see official word break at any moment. Of course, there's the health factor. Chubb suffered a major knee injury, his second, to be clear, in 2023, and there's always the risk he doesn't come back the same. But the Panthers reportedly had their medical team conduct a thorough review of his progress, and early signs are promising. Word is, Chubb has been rehabbing with quiet intensity, ahead of schedule, and already participating in non-contact drills. The idea is that he'll be a full go by training camp, with limited workload early in the preseason. So Carolina's willing to gamble if this is indeed happening because the upside is simply too high. Remember, a healthy Nick Chubb is a top 3 running back in the league, and in an NFC South division still looking for an alpha dog. The Panthers might just be thinking, why not us? Now let's talk fan reaction, because oh boy, Browns Twitter is already in full meltdown mode. Even though this deal isn't confirmed, just the possibility of losing Chubb has fans furious, confused, and in disbelief. And honestly, who can blame them? This is a guy who's never complained, always showed up, and played like a warrior every single week. In an era where so many stars demand trades or hold out, Chubb has been all about the team. If this trade goes through, it's going to sting for a long time in Cleveland. But from the front office's perspective, this could be them trying to sell high, get ahead of the cap game, and move toward a more Watson-centric offense. Whether that works or not remains to be seen, but it's a cold, ruthless part of the NFL business. Still, fans aren't just going to accept this quietly, enjoying the content so far. Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season and in Carolina. You'd think they just landed Derrick Henry and Marshawn Lynch rolled into one. Panthers fans are ecstatic online, with many calling this the team's best move since the Cam Newton MVP era. Social media is flooded with jersey mock-ups of CHUBB in Carolina blue, and optimism is sky-high. They've been dying for a superstar, someone to rally behind, someone who strikes fear into opposing defenses. And if the front office really pulled this off, it might go down as one of the boldest moves in recent team history. But with that excitement comes expectation. If CHUBB shows up and doesn't produce, if the injury lingers or the offensive line doesn't gel, this could backfire spectacularly. That said, Carolina is betting big, and right now, it seems like they're all in on surrounding Bryce Young with the weapons he needs to thrive. What's fascinating here is how this rumor changes the balance of power in both conferences. The AFC North just got a lot less predictable without CHUBB in Cleveland. Meanwhile, the NFC South, where teams like the Falcons and Saints have been jostling for control, just got a serious contender if the Panthers can get CHUBB on the field and healthy. Think about it, a backfield with CHUBB, a developing Bryce Young, and some promising young receivers. That's a dangerous offense, especially if they also make a move or two to shore up the offensive line. Carolina may not be a Super Bowl threat just yet, but in a wide-open NFC, this trade, if it happens, makes them a playoff sleeper immediately. And Cleveland, they'll have to prove they can reinvent their offense without one of the most dependable backs in the game. One thing we should all keep in mind here is that NFL trades don't happen in a vacuum. There's usually a sequence of moves or at least a plan in place. If the Browns really did move CHUBB, you can bet they already have their eyes on a replacement. Whether it's a veteran free agent like Dalvin Cook or Ezekiel Elliott, or perhaps a committee led by Jerome Ford, we're going to see a new-look Browns backfield this fall. And maybe that's the plan. Maybe Cleveland thinks they can get similar production for a fraction of the cost, and that the real key to their success lies in Watson's arm, not in a bell cow back. But man, it's a massive risk, because Nick CHUBB wasn't just productive, he was special. You don't just replace that kind of presence overnight. So, final thoughts. If this rumor turns out to be true, and it's looking more and more legit by the hour, it's going to go down as one of the most controversial trades in recent memory. The Browns, a team that's been building steadily toward contention, just moved their most beloved player. The Panthers, a franchise in flux, may have just landed their new identity. It's the kind of trade that defines off seasons and potentially entire seasons to come. We'll be watching closely for any confirmation, but for now, let us know in the comments, is this the right move for either team? Should Cleveland really move on from CHUBB? And can Carolina turn this into a playoff run? Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and stay tuned. We'll be following this story very closely. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!